Hello, 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 everyone. I am here today talking about wealth. And I know when you think of wealth, you automatically think of money. And that is just one aspect of wealth. You may have someone in the world who is rich in money and poor in life. And what you don't want to do is be one of those people. So, as important money is to being wealthy, it is not the only aspect of it, and it's not the most important. And so today we're going to talk about these different aspects of wealth that you also should be considering when you say to yourself, I want to be wealthy and I want to live a life of wealth. And y'all are really in a treat today because for my visual learners, I am pulling out the whiteboard. And so without any more time going past, we're going to get right into it. And so when I talk about wealth, I want to talk about wealth in its totality. And when I think of the word totality or I think of total, I think of like a 360 and I also think of a circle. So it's only fitting, right, that we do a nice circle here to represent the totality of wealth. And so I really want us to fill up this circle of wealth with different areas of your life where you can explore what it means to be wealthy for you. Now, I want you to know that as we do this, there are definitely more areas of life that you can decide to look at in terms of your wealth. I'm only doing some today, but you are more than willing to do whatever you feel like fits best for you. And then also being able to go even deeper with questions around what it looks like to be wealthy in this area, specifically for me in comparison to, or in thinking about it towards something else, which will definitely make sense as we go. And I'll give an example as we go. So the first thing we're going to talk about in terms of being wealthy is, of course, it is dealing with self, right? So looking at that self fulfillment. And as I do this, you all just follow along. And so self fulfillment for me is very important because this self fulfillment is not only for you, but also for your soul. You are at your essence, right? The core of who you are is a soul having a human experience. So, with you being a soul and thinking of it from that point of view, it's almost in a way asking the question of what is my purpose? Why am I here? And is what I am doing every single day, the steps that I'm taking, the actions that I'm taking, doing something that fulfills me inside, whatever that may look like for you. And this is very important because, like I said, you have people who are rich in money and poor in life because they don't stop and ask themselves, is what I'm doing really for me? And so that self fulfillment can look like different things, whether that's you working with a cause that you are very attached to and you feel in your soul like this is where I need to be, or it's creating a solution to a problem that you see in the world by building and exploring and owning your own company, or is it you doing something else? Whatever that looks like for you, it's about really asking that question of what sets my soul on fire, right? And so moving into this next area of your life where you need to be thinking about wealth and having this full circle moment of totality is really thinking about your health. You can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have your health, what are you doing with it? And sometimes having all the money in the world when your health is to a point where you can't be helped anymore, it's like you have the money to pay for procedures on top of procedures on top of procedures, but you're so far gone that you can't even be helped. And so it's so important to put your health first because your health is essential to you living. And what I see us do in society is we don't pay attention to our health until we are in a hospital bed or when we are feeling sick. And it's like, no, what steps can you take today in your life to continue to be healthy? And in something that ties directly into health, but I definitely have it as a separate category, is fitness. So these two areas, I'm going to draw an arrow because They really do impact each other. And when I think about fitness, right? Fitness is the house that has been built on a foundation of very good health. Right? And so when you are healthy, you then can go and work on your fitness to where you're working on your outer physique and you're working on your appearance and you're really focused on strengthening your muscles. You're really focused on strengthening your muscles and doing what you need to do to really just be stronger and also help you be more resilient. And so health and fitness, they definitely play a role in each other's areas of life, but it's making sure that you are paying attention to the both of them and at times separately. The next area of life that I want to speak to and talk about is your relationships. All the money in the world, but not anybody to share it with. And so, as I talk about relationships, I also talk about your platonic relationships and then also your romantic relationships. And it's really you taking time to look at what relationships am I building? What community am I building? And who is part of that community? And what does that community do for me? What value do I add to the community? And what value does the community add to my life? And it's really about you being able to make space to where you are able to speak with people and you're able to listen to people and you're able to laugh. Like, everyone in your friend group does not have to be part of the same tax bracket. You have other people in your life who may have similar values to you, but they also just want to live a different life, right? Than you. And that's okay. But when you all get together, there's going to be good conversation. And if nothing else, there's going to be some hearty laughs that your spirit needs to just recharge in a sense, that your spirit needs to release and let go and just feel good. And so that's why having relationships and knowing the value of the relationships that you have in your life and the importance of them is so important. And so moving on to this next area of life that I want you to think about is finances. And this is not in any particular order. For you, you might see them differently. For you, your relationships may be over fitness. Whatever works for you. But I'm just giving you different areas of life to think about when you think about wealth in totality. And so your finances, right? How much money do you have in the bank account? What assets are you carrying around? And I just believe that money is something that you have to think about in terms of wealth. It is the way that our world goes round in terms of being able to exchange something for something. And so right now that something is money. People exchange money to get food, to get housing, to get experiences that you may want to live the life that you not only need to live, but that your soul desires. And so when you think about finances, it's not just about how much money can I make, it's also about what is the impact that I can make with the money in my bank account. Whether that's you giving money to a cause that you are just so touched by and feel very aligned with. Or maybe it's you being able to create the business that you want and the business that you believe can change the world, or at least serve the customers. So changing the world. And then is it you being able to give money to a candidate that you believe is going to make real change in your community? Whatever that is, it's about thinking about the impact of the money that you'll make to then create wealth, not only in your own life, but in other people's lives. And then last but not least, for sure, is your career. Now, your career is something that you choose. It's not a career for society, it's not a career for your parents, it's a career for yourself, which I believe can be tied back to self-fulfillment because I've seen so many people do it. And I think it's so amazing when you're able to wake up every day on fire about the work that you are doing. And I will give you an example. I had a manager, and I remember getting on the phone with her, and I just asked her, "How is your day going?" And she stops and we're on Zoom, so she looks at me and she's like, today has been such a busy day, but I've been doing this and I've been doing that and I've been doing this and I've been doing that." And she just told me about what she was doing and she was so on fire about it. And it made me excited about the work that we were about to do in the meeting. It made me excited about the work that I was doing daily to then push forward the projects that we had going on. And literally, I realized that she loved what she was doing, and honestly, she was like that in each and every meeting. I just mean on fire, but that's because she cared about the work, she truly loved what she was doing, and I was like, "That's how I wanna feel." Each and every morning that I wake up, having the privilege and having the honor to be in a career, to choose a career that fulfills me and lights me up inside. And so if you choose to do so, know that it can be done. And so these different areas of life that I spoke about, self-fulfillment, health, fitness, relationship, finances, career, they're only the starting point for you to be able to then look at other areas of life that you believe that you want to look at when it comes to your wealth in totality. The life that you are living is your life. So that means that you can create it and you can shape it in the way that you want. Choose to be wealthy in totality and choose to live a life that you love. Until next time, go be limitless.